Hey guys, I wanted to kind of show you all a behind the scenes kind of look at how to get weapons working in Black Ops 3, or at least a kind of general overview, because if I went through each and every little thing you have to do, it'd probably take quite a while, and since this is still the alpha phase and it's not open to the public, I'd prefer to wait till a later time before making a full-on guide or tutorial for that. So, in the meantime, this is just going to kind of give you a teaser of how things work with Black Ops 3. And it's not too different in terms of comparing it to like World at War or Black Ops 1. I definitely much more prefer working with Black Ops 3 because of its new features with the new version of Asset Manager, along with Radiant Black with its cool looks, and also more UE4 feel in a sense. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here on the left, as you can tell, is the launcher. Very simple. It's not too much to it. You just simply select your map if you're working on a map or your mod and then compile it or link it to get it working in-game, and then you can also just run from here. And let's go ahead and start out with APE, or Asset Property, or Property Editor, sorry. So the simple way to describe the main way AP works is that instead of having individual GDTs that you have to open for editing your assets, you can now just have all of them open at once, which is how it works. Here is actually the browser you use in the left, and right now I have a filter on to only show my GDTs that I've been working on. And I use, because of this ability, I actually have each GDT, or a GDT for each kind of asset that I've been working with. So all my animations are here in one, and all my images are in another, and so on and so forth. And that's another thing now, is that images are no longer something that you just define in the material asset. You actually define the image asset first, and depending on what kind of texture it is, so like if it's a color map, you define the image usage as diffuse map, normal maps go as normal map, and same thing for specular, and then gloss and such. And then from here you would, or from the materials is where you'll go ahead and define them. And the asset viewer is now a part of APU, which is amazing to have because you can also customize how you see things. The controls are very similar to Maya if you've used Autodesk Maya, where it's just hold Alt and then left click for moving around, right click for zooming in and out, and then middle mouse for panning. So you can right click the view and change the time of day if you wanted to look at it in the morning, during the day, sunset, or night. And then you can also change the shape of the object, so it can be a sphere, a cube, a plane, a cylinder even, or a monkey, which I don't know why you would want to really test all of your materials on a monkey, but if you wanted to, there you go. Maybe monkey fanatics out there. Using a plane usually looks really nice, especially during the nighttime. And if you wanted to, you can customize the window a little bit so you can see more of it. So back to this. Setting up models is a bit nicer now in terms of how you do it. Instead of having to define your materials first and then being able to do the model asset, what you can do instead is go ahead and define your models. And oh gosh, what did I just do this? There we go. You go ahead and define your model asset, set your type if it's rigid, animated, multiplayer body, or view hands. Usually you don't need to use any of these settings, especially do not use. I don't know why you would use that. You just delete it then. And then you just define in LOD0 the X model bin. X model bin is simply a different version of X model export. You can still define X model exports, and then whenever you go to link your mod, it will throw you a little warning saying that you should use X model bin from now on, as they are being phased out. It's not that hard to make an X model bin either. All you have to do is, let me first pull up an example where I have it. You just want to have the folder where you have your X model exports here, and then or actually before you get to this point, you need to define your bin folder for Black Ops 3 in your path system variables. And once you have it in there, you just do shift right click and open up the command prompt, and then just type in export to bin space asterisk if you want to go ahead and convert all of the possible assets, and then it'll create the X model bins for you. And you can just see they updated here. I already had them, but they updated to now, and you just use X model bin as that way. And then down here it'll actually have the materials listed for you that it can find, and you just click on the image button whenever you don't have that material already made, and it will automatically let you set it up as you need it to be. And from here you'll be able to define the image assets now as well, and you can also define if you want it to be in a different GDT than the materials GDT, if you happen to have it separate like I do. So it's it seems a lot to do, but once you have it all linked up and ready to go, if you want to make a change to texture, all you gotta do is update the TIFF in your whatever folder you were working from, and if it's already defined here, then you don't even have to touch APE. Once you've edited material, you just go straight to linking your mod and it'll convert it, because you no longer have to convert your assets now in APE. That's something Launcher does for you. And any changes you make in here will automatically update in Radiant as well, which is pretty awesome to just have automatic updating everywhere. And then you can also do a save list in CSV format of all of the assets that are here. I've actually never tested this, so let's actually see what happens. So that's saved to model export weapons M18, I think. And okay, let's open a different program like Visual Code. Yeah, and it's already, oh, okay, so I'm not sure how you would use this, but that's an option now. So once you've done all your models, your materials and images and everything, which is the fun parts, I guess, you can also make your weapon file now. I've been using the CUDA, which has been provided to us, and it's the only model or the only gun we have as of now in the tools to be able to work off of. I've just used the CUDA as a basis for everything, and just modified as needed. You get your default, your usual stuff in the beginning, the display name. There's also in-game name and stat name, which I haven't found what effect they actually do as of yet. You can define your player anim type, there are a lot of options you can select from here. You've got your dual wield, minigun, the different positions for the clip, even the G11 from Black Ops 1, that's still in here. And then as well as sword if you're doing a melee weapon. You got your different types. The bullet weapon, even though it says bullet weapon here, you can use it for the melees like the ones in multiplayer, such as the Fury Song and such. It's how I made the katana, actually, that I showcased in a previous video. And you can define the impact types that they have here. And then you can also define the fire types, which they have the minigun and charge shot variations in here. There's also the burst option. I'm assuming auto burst is what they used for the burst weapons in this game, where you can just hold down the trigger and it'll burst or cycle through the burst without you having to repeatedly fire. And using now using the filter, you can actually search for stuff now, so you can actually define the burst counts as well and go all the way up to 7, so you could have a 7 burst weapon if you wanted to. I believe back in World at War and Black Ops 1 the maximum you can have is 4, even though they didn't start using that until Black Ops 2 with the M8A7, if I recall correctly. So here's just a lot of different options. There's even the option for a supply drop weapon. I'm going to take a guess that's probably used for making sure that players who don't automatically have the weapon unlocked as a part of the supply drops, then it won't be able to count towards our progress. I'm not sure though. We got their different damage types. Annihilator is there, or bows. I haven't played with those to figure out what they do yet. The type options, you can do your bolt action and then your shots before rechamber. I'm going to take a guess this is how then like the M1216 from Black Ops 2 worked, where you can have your maybe a full auto and then just define 4 here, and then you can just either hold down the trigger and then do bolt action to rechamber it and such. There's the dual option. Use as melee, so that way you can just use the weapon as a melee weapon. I believe for the multiplayer weapon files, they actually have set the gun, or you use the butt of the gun to attack the players, and you actually define that as 95 damage normally. Yep, here it is. So you do 95 damage whenever you melee a player in multiplayer. There's fun information for you. There's a segmented reload for shotguns or any other gun that you don't do a full reload with. Your ADS rechamber option, ADS. What else is here? Lock on, I guess, for the rocket launchers, where you need to lock on to the vehicle or object for. Movement speed, and then the ammo types. Very similar setup with the ammo name and clip name. For a clip name, I would imagine you would want it separate for the dual wields, and then ammo name to be the same. Clip size, max and star ammo. If you haven't worked previously with Black Ops 1, the max ammo and start ammo started being multipliers instead of just whatever you want the maximum amount of ammunition to be. So even though it's set to 7 here, in-game it'll actually be 49 because it multiplies it by the clip size. And then the shot count for shotguns, you can set that there. Although to use that you have to set spread in the beginning. If we go back up there, if I can even go there. Here's spread for class. It took me a while to find that one, since I'm not used to seeing it there. And then damages, you can set 6 different sets of damages from the maximum down to the minimum, and then you can increment it. These ranges are absurd for a shotgun, as you could probably tell. I just have these set here from whenever I was basing it on the CUDA, although it's quite a bit of fun to play with since it's like sniping with a shotgun. I'm not sure what the multi-shot is for, as I haven't used it yet. And then the location damages is the LFC head and neck from the weapon files back in Black Ops 1 and World at War for multipliers to the head or the torso. And then the state timers are your fire time, last shot time, fire delay. Burst delay is now an option as well. Before it used to be a client of ours you had to set via script in World at War, and I think in Black Ops 1 as well. And now, I just accidentally reset that. Now you can just define it here in the weapon file instead of having to do it via script. Then you've got your reloads, and then also the quicks for the dual mags or fast mags. And then your slide, your swim. I didn't actually expect to go through all of these, but I guess I am. Might as well at this point. And then for those of you who don't like the quickscopers, make your weapon anti-quickscope with these settings. And then the X models, you just define the view model as view gun and world model for world gun. And this does also have the autofill from before. And then I don't think, okay, yeah, you can just do that. And then for attachments, this is where you can define, if you happen to have your clip as a separate model from the gun, you can define it in here and then have the positions for the offsets of how far away you need to put the model of the clip. So this is probably why whenever you tried to port Black Ops 2 or even Black Ops 3 weapons into previous games and you had to make it one model, it wasn't in the correct spot, or there weren't tags already because this was done in the weapon file, so there wasn't a need to do it in Maya. And then your cosmetic variants, and then all of the animations that you can have now. You've got your usual 14 to 15 default ones like the idle, the fire, reload, ADS, pull out, put away, and sprint. And then now you also have slide and crawl, mantle, and then there's the melee ones if you wanted to, and then also swim, which all have their own. So that pretty much wraps it up for weapons. The effects as well, and then all the sounds. For sounds, the only thing you really need to define are, I guess, the fire sounds whenever you're doing your weapon, because now whenever you have your note track set up, this is something I forgot to mention earlier, you have your note track set up in the animation, and to do that you want to name your sound as S&D and T hashtag and then the name of the sound. So for this it's actually fly M1887 shell in, and when I go to do the sound aliases, instead of having to go through the weapon file, I can just go into the sound alias and write fly M1887 shell in, and that will automatically set up the sound that way. If you recall from World at War and Black Ops 1, you had to define in the note track sound map what you had here in the animation in there, and then what you wanted it to be in the sound alias. So now with Black Ops 3, you can completely skip that part of the sounds. So once you've finally gone through all the settings that there is here in AP for setting up your weapon, you just do a save all, and then you can exit out. And then you can go into Radiant Black and add in your weapon onto the ground if you want to do that, or if you want it to be a part of a wall weapon, set it up via script. For testing, all I've done was just put it on the ground, so to get it, you just go to the Entity Browser and then find your weapon and then just drag it onto the map and place it as you want to. So now I'll have 2 of them in the map. Save it, close out, and then just compile and link your map. So it seems like a lot, and me trying to condense the video accidentally, it may seem like a lot to go through, but once you have it all set up once, it's just a matter of adding 1 or 2 things here and there, or automatically having it update without you having to do anything about it, being that if I go ahead and change the view model for whatever reason, I can just go from right here and open up the command prompt, do the export to bin space */v, so that way it'll print to the console. It'll make my bins or convert my bins, and since I already have it set up in AP, I can just click on link and it'll be done. And it looks like we can actually now go in-game. Hopefully I've got windowed borderless set, or window full screen, so that way I don't have to worry about it. Just a matter of waiting. Then it's gonna throw a UI error because I haven't figured out a way to fix it, if there even is a way. One year later, and now you can see there's my second Model 1887. And then this sort of an update to it, I have now added in this slide, although I need to edit it to make it so the left hand doesn't come on screen at all, and then whenever you're on the prone you can now crawl with it. So that's pretty much it for this video that I want to showcase. If you have any questions, I'll try answering them down below. It seemed like a lot that I did show, but there are some things I can't show because, you know, there's a whole NDA and agreement that we had as a part of being an alpha tester. So leave questions down below and I will answer them if I can. And that's pretty much it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.